Hello everybody, hopefully you had a good day or night. Today I'm going to talk about the step up spawn like I was going to a while ago, but I didn't. So to start off, really good free to play friendly spawn. Good for all platforms, all people of all situations. It's literally a 46 spots, no medals, no side stuff, none of that stuff. By the time you hit the second spawn, you already got a cost 23 or higher SSR rates up. And by the time you hit the third spawn, it's not just rates up, because you're still getting rates up. You're guaranteed to get a select gear piece by that time. So that's really good. That's a really fair deal, if you ask me. It's an 8.2% chance once you pass the first spawn. The first spawn is a regular 6.0 something percent chance. Rates up on all that stuff like I said. So you're very likely to get something better out of this than not something better. Alright, going on with it. The details. I'm gonna put all these bosses at the very bottom. Freya's gonna be the only one I didn't. Freya is really good. She does good damage. The barrier removes all debuffs. Cost 20, recovers cost 25 cost for all allies. It increases stats for all allies regardless of class by 40% for 60 seconds. But you, yourself, the owner, has to be an archer or treasure hunter class. If she casts frenzy, I'll have all those at the bottom. All the fancy buffs, fancy schmancy buffs and all that. Now, a lot of these are good. For example, chance to recover 5 costs and massively increase physical or magical damage or heals depending on your class when using an ability. I find it essential because how I work is everybody constantly use costs. If I were to use Xmas Gift, the proc rate on this is good, by the way, because I have the Lance of Divinity and it has the same skill. The proc rate is not bad. It's pretty decent. So if you were to have like 4 of these, you're at least gonna get 5 almost all the time. Probably 10 too. So more than about half the time you're gonna get 10, I say. I'm not sure, but that's approximately what I'd say. So if you were to pop Xmas Gift and they both activate, you're getting 5 costs back. If you were to pop this, you're only losing 2 costs. 6 costs right here and 4 costs. Now imagine if you were using that much cost to begin with and you could do a lot of attacks to begin with. If it were reduced by 10 per each attack, 5 at least, 10 more than half the time. That's really OP. That's DPS on whole different levels. Anyways, these are good right here. Defense opening skill reduces damage taken by the first 30 seconds of battle by 16%. Know your skills. You want to know your skills. You want to know what you have. You want to know what you need and what you don't need. For example, stuff like this. It gives you an ability, skill, tremendous damage, stuff that reduces physical and magical damage taken, stuff like that. You want to know your skills, and you need to know your skills. Before, I highly recommend it, but it is recommended for PvP. It's a good skill regardless of what you have, whether it's good or not. Because if you start off and they all start charging after you and it gets reduced, let's say you have 2 of these things, that's 40%. That's 40%. So if they were all charging after you because you deal most damage and stuff like that, and they don't do as much damage as they need to do against you, and you do a lot more damage, and you knock them all down, knock their crystal down, you got a head start. You honestly have a head start. This gear gives you a head start. To have this opening skill is better. It's better to have it than to not have it. Anyways, going on with this, stuff like decrease your defense by half for soldiers and increase your max HP, stuff like that. All this stuff's good. I'll say what's good, but I don't know the proc rates, so I'm not going to go through this completely. These are OP. You can see for yourself what they have. It's here in the details. These are pretty good. Bow of Ragnarok's alright. It's okay. 11's OP has a chance to ignore 50% of the target's defense and magic defense. Cannot be stacked though. These are pretty good. The relics are really OP. And the Odin stuff, don't worry about the Odin stuff. The Odin stuff is a skill only stacks twice. So You can only have the same skill twice. It only activates twice. After that, it's random. It selects whatever one it wants to when you're about to go in battle, and whatever it is whatever it is. Saying that, it's Fatal Testament right here. Chance to increase physical and magical damage when using the ability. So, if you were to do this, if you were to put this on, it counts as these skills right here. All these testaments you see, pretty much, they count as the same skill. They count under the same skill. So, if you already have 2 of these or whatever testaments you want that actually are OP according to your class, if you were to throw this on, it might take over during a battle by chance. It might take over one of those testaments and get in your way. So I do not recommend this, even though it's 33 gear. Now 32, reflection, I highly recommend reflection. Say, also for skill stacking, physical and magical reflection count as the same skill, so you can only have 1 physical reflection and 1 magical reflection, or 2 physical reflections or 2 magical reflections. You cannot have 2 physical reflections and 2 magical reflections and all of them activating. 11th Zodiac breaks that. You can have 2 physicals and magical damage reflections on, because technically reflection counts as both the 1 skill, so it's really OP. I honestly want to get this gear. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. I'm going to do the step up spawn a few times. I would record it, but I've already did it twice and I didn't record it then. So I'm probably only going to do this one more time as well. And for all the monsters, at least the ones that are featured and not like in regular spawns, I'm going to put in the comments below. So thank you and I'm going to put like my opinion on all that stuff in there too. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you in the next video. It's the AzureWrath. I'm out. Peace.